Next Sunday, on June 13th, Microsoft is going to hold their big Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and since it's only a few days till the big event, there are already a ton of predictions videos out there. So this video today is not about me guessing which games might be shown. In this video we are discussing what Xbox needs to do at E3 so that their conference will be considered a success. How can they keep the mindshare of the fanbase and the media sites, and what do they need to do to win over the casual gamers? We discussed this and a lot more. Hello gamers from around the world, this is Archimedes, the video game enthusiast from Germany, with a video about Xbox at E3. Like I said in the intro, there are a ton of prediction videos out there where different people, including myself, are guessing which games will be actually shown and why we think they are at the show or not. I'd like to take a different approach with this video and consider more the entire presentation, the important messages that Xbox needs to deliver to the fan base, the media sites and the biggest customer base, the casual gamer. There's no doubt that whatever Microsoft does, there will be trolls out there no matter what. There's also the fan base out there that are totally fine by Microsoft just showing Halo and maybe a few indie games. So there's definitely no recipe to satisfy everyone out there, but I think there are a couple of things that Microsoft hopefully does in order to win the general mindshare, and so I categorize this video in 3 sections. How Microsoft should present games, what messages should they send from the platform side, and what feeling gamers should have after they watch the E3 showcase. But before we go through all of that, I want to ask you for a favor. If you watch this video and end up enjoying yourself, then please consider to hit the like and subscribe button and maybe even turn on the notification bell to not miss out on future content. This doesn't cost you anything, but it helps my channel more than you think, and I would greatly appreciate your support. But now let's talk about the Xbox and Bethesda E3 showcase. As a fan and gamer, there are always 2 different ways to approach such a showcase. The first is of course to temper your expectations, to not expect the best event ever and just be happy with a few good looking games. So the motto would be better be surprised than disappointed. And then there are gamers who just want to get hyped, who want to be excited and just expect publishers, like in this case Microsoft, to deliver their A game. And if I look at all the rumors that are out there, what Microsoft is apparently doing at this E3 showcase, it will be really hard for them to meet some expectations. So let's talk about what is realistic and doable for Microsoft while still gaining the mindshare of gamers around the globe. Let's discuss how Microsoft should present the games, and I think most gamers out there would agree with me if I say Microsoft needs to show gameplay. Last year was really strange to see all these smaller and bigger events in the lead up to the launch of a console, where we have gotten a ton of announcements for games but none of them ran on the actual console that Microsoft wanted to advertise, and this is definitely something they need to change. If Xbox is doing another showcase filled with fantastic announcements and a ton of CGI trailers, this would definitely hurt their mindshare with the fan base. Microsoft advertised the Xbox Series X as the most powerful console out there. They built up the biggest first-party studio roster out there with 23 studios. They are apparently working on round about 35 different games, and we have not seen a single game running on the Series X. And it's also important for the casual gamer market, because a lot of marketing these days is done via social media. Let's say the casual gamer scrolls through his timeline on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook or whatnot and sees those little advertisement snippets and immediately thinks, wow, this is what I get when I play on Xbox. A CGI trailer does not do the same trick. So no doubt that this is critically important for Microsoft to showcase, and we all know that Halo Infinite is definitely going to be there, and I think we all agree that they will show gameplay for Halo, but is that enough? I think that Microsoft needs to show at least 3 to 5 major AAA games with gameplay. They have already announced an incredible amount of first-party games that are in the making, and even more first-party games are in development that we don't know of yet. For the sake of argument, let's have a look here. Microsoft has announced Halo Infinite, Starfield, Forza Motorsport, Everwild, State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, Fable, Avowed, Psychonauts 2, Hellblade 2, Project Mara, The Elder Scrolls 6 and an Indiana Jones game. In addition to that, we know about a few games that are definitely in the making but haven't been announced yet, like the next Forza Horizon game, Wolfenstein 3 and The Outer Worlds 2 or Gears 6. So out of these 17 games, it should be doable for Microsoft to take 3 to 5 of them and show at least 2 minutes of gameplay. It's kind of hard to believe that none of these 17 games are at least in a state so that you can show off gameplay from an early build. Everyone knows that we are living under special circumstances these days. The pandemic is still ongoing and most of us gamers, and of course the game developers, have been working from home for at least 15 to 16 months now. And obviously many of these games are not as far along in development as they were supposed to be. That's just a fact. But still, it should be doable to record like 2 minutes of gameplay for some of those games. And since I've spoken about these 17 games that have been announced or are an open secret that they are in development, there are actually a ton of other games from the Xbox Game Studios that could be shown, like the Compulsion game, the In Exile game, the Arcane game, etc, etc. So considering all that, I would be a little bit disappointed if we would get no gameplay for any of these games outside of Halo Infinite. And I know that we are definitely getting some awesome smaller AA games or games that are not considered first party, like Crossfire X, The Ascent, Stalker 2, The Gunk, Microsoft Flight Simulator, etc, etc. All of them are scheduled for a release this year and I'm looking forward to see them in action, but they don't have the same punch like a big AAA first party game. And that's why I said 3 to 5 first party games outside of Halo should be at the showcase to win the mindshare of gamers. Okay, but besides showing gameplay, Microsoft should also lay out some release windows for their bigger titles. It's great to know that the games like Fable or Avowed are coming, but in order to really get the fanbase hyped, release windows are required. Give us targets for some of these games, like for instance Fable coming in 2022 or 2023. And if a game needs a delay, that's totally fine, but Xbox should give us a roadmap of what is coming and when down the line. This is just setting expectations right and helps to mute the trolls out there with their typical mantras like Xbox has no games. When a roadmap is properly presented, Microsoft is taking the narrative out of the hands of the fanboys, and that would be very good marketing. But without gameplay and release windows, the trolls out there are controlling the narrative, and let's be honest, who wants that? Okay, but what else besides gameplay and release windows should Microsoft do at E3 in order for the conference to be a success? They definitely should talk about their ecosystem and the entry key to the Xbox ecosystem, Game Pass. I've said it before, Xbox is Game Pass. The subscription service is the best selling point that Microsoft has right now for their consoles, or even to play on PC. And if we think back just a few months ago, Xbox launched the third-party games like Outriders and MLB The Show Day 1 into Game Pass. With that, they gained an incredible mindshare on social media, with the press and even media outlets that were typically pro PlayStation were not able to deny the value that is provided by Game Pass and Xbox. And since Microsoft already has a couple of marketing deals with bigger AAA games from third-party developers and very good relationships with publishers when it comes to Game Pass like EA, I think it would behoove them to announce at least one other major release from a third-party developer coming into Game Pass. There are a ton of possibilities out there. Of course, Far Cry 6, Dying Light 2 or Battlefield 6 come to mind, but there are also the sport games from EA like the new Madden or FIFA. There's Elden Ring, whatever Crytek is working on, games from Capcom or Square Enix. There are a ton of possibilities, but there is one key message that Microsoft wants to deliver. Game Pass is the best value to have, and what better way to do that than to bring a major third-party game launching day and date into Game Pass? Because the thing about E3 is that not only the hardcore gamers are watching. E3 always has been that event where the general press and media sites are reporting on video games that usually don't talk about gaming. And if that's the key message that gets out to casual gamers, hey, there is this Netflix-like service where you not just get a few Xbox games, but you get your FIFA or your Battlefield or your Far Cry day 1 for free. That is a major message, hard to ignore. Alright, if Xbox can nail the presentation of games, their roadmap and the messaging of their Game Pass service, the conference would already be a major success. To hit the home run, there is one last thing that Microsoft should somehow implement into the conference, and that is targeted for their core audience, and that is hardware gimmicks and fan events. What do I mean by that? It's always important to keep your hardcore fan base happy. They are the ones that are spreading the word, not just on social media, but also in their families, with their friends, their work colleagues, and so on. And that's why special events for fans are so important. And with that, I hope that they bring back XO 2021 or some other fan-related event. In addition to that, fans like special hardware, like for instance a custom some Halo consoles, special controllers and so on. Speaking of controllers, it would be fantastic to bring back the design lab for the new Xbox Series controller. And in addition to that, the announcement of an Elite 3 controller with everything that the regular Xbox Series controller has would be amazing. But with that, I want to wrap it up. I'm definitely someone who is super excited for E3. Let me know in the comments down below if you are excited for E3 or if you temper your expectations. I truly think that this year Microsoft has the potential to have their best E3 yet. They have two amazing consoles out there. The generation has just begun. The first party portfolio is bigger and better than ever before. They have the best service out there, and all they have to do is to announce 1 or 2 great games coming to Game Pass, give us some accessories like controllers, and most importantly, show 3 to 5 big first party games with gameplay and give us release windows for them. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are excited for E3, definitely make sure to hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell for this channel, because I'll be covering E3 with a bunch of videos over the next days and weeks. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can now become a channel member. This will grant tier 2 channel members early access to my videos, and all members will get access to custom made badges and emojis. If you want to learn more about the channel membership, just hit the join button and you find all the infos you need. And let me thank those who are already members. I'm truly humbled by your support. You are a big part in helping me taking this channel to the next level. But now let me know in the comments down below, what do you think Xbox needs to do to make E3 a success? What are your expectations? Besides here on YouTube, you can also hit me up on Twitter, where I share a lot of opinions and gaming discussions. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I see you the next time, and game on!